everyone, and I mean everyone, is in the survival business nowadays, from the smallest startup to the largest lethargic legacy corporation. It's funny because startups get it, right? They're here today, gone tomorrow. They get the fact that, Facebook changes the API, or Google issues a cease and desist, or a VC decides to withhold their money, and they're dead. In the corporate world, it's what I call death by 1,000 budget cuts. So everyone's in the same boat. And so we started this business really trying to actually create a new discipline called survival planning, which is a new spin on account planning or strategic planning. Marketing has become marginalized and delegitimized. This has been something going on for a long time now. In fact, the three of us, and most people probably watching or listening, would know all the statistics about the tenure of the chief marketing officer, but really what's been happening.
Which is like 15 months now, right? It's something just.
I mean, I don't even know if that's even news to me, and that's shocking. But the thing is that when I was coming through college, and even in my first job, I read a piece by Regis McKenna that was called "Marketing is Everything." And it was kind of I think it was a white paper. It wasn't even it wasn't a book or anything, but it just hit home with me that marketing truly is everything, or should be. Everything that touches the customer, directly or indirectly, must be signed off on or signed off by marketing. But today, as we all know, it's become just tantamount and synonymous to acquisition, communication, building of brand, whatever the hell that means anymore. I mean, one of the things that I say in Build to Suck is that the way brands have been built up until now will be very different to the way they will need to be built moving forward. I use this analogy, whenever we get the goose that laid the golden egg, what the marketer does is they slaughter it and they put it on the barbecue. You get a one-time use, and you've completely missed the point. Yep. Like Twitter, for example. Twitter should have been and still could be the greatest and most sublime custom experience channel, in the history of this business. And instead, it's pretty much become the direct to, as we know, the channel of the world's first direct-to-consumer president, Donald Trump. And the problem with all of these is that all of these godforsaken companies are going down the same dead end, which is get big fast and then monetize through, wait for it, advertising, promoted tweets. It's like, and at that point, that company is built to suck. I talk about the coming of the corporate apocalypse, which is very difficult to say when you've been drinking and or 3 times fast.
Also hard for spell check, for sure.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that every time I mention it, I spell it differently. But that's,
it's your prerogative.
You're allowed.
That's the problem when you get the red little, and you're like, just ignore all. So every good apocalypse needs 4 horsemen. And so the 4 horsemen in the book are size, age, being a public company, and culture. And it is that public company horseman that is, to me, the kiss of death. I'm a little kind of snarky and cynical about it. I say that kind of, this isn't an STD, it's a CTD. It's a corporate transmitted disease of short-termitis, which is actually a phrase that was coined by many people, but Eric Reynolds at Clorox actually said it. But this is the problem. The problem is once you are sucked into this bottomless pit, this black hole of short-term quarterly earnings, there really is no way of being able to escape this vortex, this suction, and probably a very apropos word, because we're talking about suckage and sucking, that pulls you down. So one of the things I'm quite clear about is that we don't need long-term planning anymore. We don't have that luxury. We need long-term thinking, big thinking, but we've got to start short-term planning and pivoting and being able to your point, Adam, move beyond what is this shareholder growth.